Maria Callas never flattered in her entire life. Sharp, yes, flattered never. I may not have your ear, but I have a pitch pipe I bought in Salzburg at that music shop 3 doors down from the house Mozart was born in. Herbert von Karajan was there, buying batons. Herbert von Karajan would hardly be seen buying batons at a music shop that didn't sell excellent pitch pipes. We'll see how flat Maria was. Is he back yet? What's his name? Your friend, whose apartment you're at, who's out buying pizza. Oh, they've got me so rattled over here, I can't even remember his name. Thank you. I love this one's voice. Paul Della, what was it? Rovere? He could be the first Italian hump tenor with that name. Whew. What? The Italian hump is Portuguese? Maybe he was there. The Lisbon Traviata. Oh, they're playing Sweeney Todd so loud over there. I don't know how they can even think. I'll never understand what people see in musicals. I mean, why settle for the sound of music when you can have dialogue of the Carmelites? Mike, this is Mendy. I wonder if I could ask you a favor. You've got a record album there. It's Stevens, actually. The Lisbon Traviata. The Lisbon Traviata. If you could perhaps turn Madame Lansbury down for just a moment. Thank you. He called him Babe. What's his name? The Italian hump who's Portuguese. Mike called him Babe. I bet Sweeney Todd's not all they're playing. Can you hear me now? Yes, perfectly. Listen, Mike, there's a favor I'd like to ask you. Well, it's 2 favors, actually. Stephen left a record album over there. I specifically asked him to bring over with him tonight. I was wondering if I stopped by, I might pick it up. How soon? I could come right now. Couldn't you wait a couple of minutes until I got there? It's only a couple of blocks. What if I took a cab? You'll be passing right by here. I can meet you halfway. I don't want to be a pest about it, Michael, but really, it's terribly important. If you just got back with pizza, I don't understand why you have to go rushing out again to the movies. If you'd returned my call when I asked you to call just as soon as you got back with it, I could have been over there and gone by now. This is all really very inconsiderate of you, Michael. As a matter of fact, to me, it is a matter of life and death. I'm sorry I feel this way about it, too. The next time you're offered a pair of free tickets to the Met, they won't be from me. That's not the point. I offered them. Whether or not you wanted them is immaterial. You're a selfish, self-centered, stereotypical, aging, immature queen. No wonder you don't have any friends. Yes, all that. Just because you won't bring a goddamn record album over here or let me come over there and get it. Besides, the Maria Callas Lisbon Traviata is not just another goddamn record album of Stevens. Right now, at this particular moment in my not-so-terrific life, it's probably the most goddamn important thing in the world to me. But I wouldn't expect an insensitive faggot whose idea of a good time is sitting around listening to Angela Lansbury shrieking about the worst boys in London like yourself to understand what I'm talking about. I'm not surprised you don't like opera. People like you don't like life. What was the other favor, just in case? Well, I was only going to ask you, not that it matters now, and I certainly wouldn't want to put you out or anything, even if you did spend 3 summers with me on Fire Island as a permanent, non-paying, non-dishwashing, Not anything but hanging around on the meat rack guest. If your little Portuguese friend had maybe heard Maria's Traviata in Lisbon. But if he's so heavily into Stephen Sondheim, I would seriously doubt it. He's going to ask him. He's just wasting his time. 6 times over and back I could have been. 6 times. What? He wants to talk to me? Okay. Paul? This is Mendy. Did Mike tell you what I... Well, that's what I was wondering, but if you're not sure, then I'm sure you weren't. Well, of course, someone sang it. Someone usually does. Otherwise, there's no performance. Or they call it a play. Pick up the extension. This would have been in 1958. You were how old then? Don't pick up, you don't want to know. But you remember your grandfather taking you to an opera? This is encouraging. Tell me everything you remember about it. No, the one with the bowls in it is Carmen. Very inappropriate for a child. Traviata is about a courtesan dying of consumption. A courtesan. What Stephen was, before he became the youngest senior editor at Knopf. No, horses and camels are Aida. I wish you could remember the singers as well as you do the animals. Traviata begins at a party. Everyone is drinking champagne and being very gay. I'll ignore that. And then the tenor's father, the baritone, comes in and ruins everything, as fathers will. And then there's a gambling scene. And in the last act, she reads a letter. Teneste la promesa, and dies. You remember that much? Then you definitely remember Traviata. Now try to describe the soprano who was singing Violetta. Violetta is the heroine. You're making me feel like Milton Cross. Skip it. Just tell me about the soprano. Other than the fact that you didn't like her, what can you tell me about her? Lousy is a strong word, Paul. So is stunk. I don't care about your opinion, as a matter of fact. I think you heard Maria Callas. Oh, that's a good question. I loved her so much. I still do. Everything about her, anything. I'll take crumbs when it comes to Maria. Her time was so brief. That's why I was hoping maybe you could tell me something about her I didn't know. She's given me so much pleasure, ecstasy, a certain solace, I suppose, memories that don't stop. This doesn't seem to be such a terrible existence with people like her to illuminate it. We'll never see her like again. How do you describe a miracle? Do yourself a favor, Paul. Put on one of her records. Puritani or Somnambula or Norma. If what you hear doesn't get to you, really speak to you, touch your heart, Paul, the truth of it, the intensity of feeling. I can't imagine such a thing. I don't think we could be friends. I know we couldn't. There's a reason we called her La Divina. But if you don't even remember who sang Traviata that night, then there's no point in going on with this, even if you did hear Callas. For people like you, it might as well have been Zinka Milanov. Skip that one, too. Listen, thank you for your trouble. Enjoy the movie. No, I don't care what your grandfather thought of her either. The two of you heard the greatest singer who ever lived, and you don't even remember it. Yes, she's dead. Thanks to people like you, murderer. I hope you hate the movie. God, I loathe the Portuguese.